Description and keyword tags are for the most part ignored by Google these days for ranking. So they're not used for ranking, but they are used for visitor enhancements. In other words, a visitor or user that's searching will look at the description and decide if he wants to visit the site. However, also Yahoo and MSN are still using these tags a little bit in their algorithm, so this is another reason to use them carefully. Unless you know what you're doing and you're using market research tools like the ones that will be discussed in Chapter 5 and 6, do not keyword stuff. Don't overstuff your content with keywords. You'll be marked negatively by the Google ranking index. If you put in every keyword you could hope to rank well for, you'll get Google slapped, meaning taken out of the Google ranking by Google, aka also known as put in the sandbox. That's not what we want. That means we're thrown out of the ranking. At that point, there's little else you can do but call Google and be honest and simply explain what your site is about and apologize. And good luck to having that work out fast. Months is what I consider fast with Google. Years is what other people usually end up waiting for once they've been sandboxed. So it's at least 9 months to a year. Allow for a week or two or even 3 for a response from Google, even if you put in a message to them. In the keyword tag, focus on no more than 4 or 5 main keyword phrases, and that is it. The body will contain the content and almost everything else on page. First comes the header tag, which is looked at quite closely by Googlebot. Header tags are the information that is contained within the H1 tag. This H1 tag is the header. The header is usually on a page, sometimes is highlighted or in a larger font. The header tag. It's a little bigger. Welcome to Florida Kosher Tours. Here's an H1 tag. In the world of Florida Kosher Tours, there are Orlando Kosher travel packages and the wonderful array of kosher restaurants for fine dining in Miami Beach. Who knows what my keyword is? Right there. Right there in the H1 tag. Right there in the title. And of course, it's pretty obvious that it's there in the URL domain as well. Continuing on, in the keyword tag, we just mentioned, focus on no more than 4 or 5 main keyword phrases. And that is it. We're talking about the meta tag now before the body. The body will contain the content and almost everything else in the first page. First comes the header tag, which is looked at quite closely, as we just mentioned. Header tags are the information between the H1 bullets that are called tags in hypertext markup language. Because the search engines consider the H1 tag relevant in their ranking algorithms, we suggest not putting more than 1 H1 tag on your page. The body holds all the content for the web page, and the first thing to note in the body tag is the word count. Google counts how many words of content are on each page of your site. Try and have at least 500 words of viewable content per page. Let's say the content on your page totaled 1,000 words. And 100 of those words were specific keywords for your theme. Googlebot would grade that page as having a 10% keyword density. 100 of the 1,000 words are 10% of the words. And if they are specific keywords for the theme, that's a 10% keyword density. That would be considered high and could stifle the site's ranking. Keyword density rule of thumb is to go natural. Content should flow much the same as a natural conversation. Keep under 5% keyword density for the main keywords. To master Google's technology and inject it with a Kabbalistic flow means that the subject matter must be dear to you. Stick with search terms that interest you. Study the titles being used and the descriptions. Take note of the ones that grab your attention. View the source code and recognize the different tags, including the DTD statement, opening and closing head tag, the description and keyword tags, the title and body tags. Check out how the list of keywords in the site's meta keyword tag compares to the SEPs for that keyword. Optimizing for Google also involves off-page factors. Google takes into account the on-page factors, but as most experts agree, that at least half of the weight for decisive ranking comes from off-page factors. Just a little something more about off-page optimization. Google owns a vast majority of the search engine market. Because of its dominance, try to please Googlebot more than their competition. One of the best ways to please Google is with the off-page factors. That's right, the links. Yes, links are the most powerful off-page factor there is. Over 80% of failing sites on the internet right now are not achieving their potential revenue because no long-term link building strategy was ever implemented. Some sites that are really tanking are poorly ranked because they are using outdated and highly ineffective linking strategies, which Google now penalizes. Google is looking for naturally occurring links, meaning if people think that the website is valuable, they'll want to link to it. Linking improves ranking most effectively when each link lands on a different area of the site, also known as a deep page or deep linking. Different text should be used for each link's keyword and URL. Links help a site only when they come from different IP addresses, usually located in the page's content. Again, the opposite of the linking rules stated can and will affect ranking negatively. Google might rank a site higher for a specific keyword that has never been seen on the web page because it exists as keyword anchor text. The keyword anchor text is the word or words on your web page that are hyperlinked with a href tag. For example, and here's the tag, what it looks like, a href, and then after the equal sign, the link where the link goes to, the forward arrow, and then the words that are highlighted for that link. Let me show you on this page. I have some what are called anchor text links. Here we have Google top ranking, which goes to my primer page for thematic, official SEO tool for Kaballah of Google. And it's great because this page receives a link from one of its theme-related keywords. And that theme-related keyword is Google top ranking. These words are very important because with the rules of natural linking, the words used are what the person thinks the page is about. Google and most other search engines recognize and rank favorably for quality links pointing to that page, and similarly, to a lesser degree, with keyword anchor text. Showing how a page may not mention the same term even once is a good example of how the LSI algorithm works and how the ranking order in their search results is affected. Take time and deliberate over how the ranking order in the search results is affected. Take time and deliberate over the internal linking structure of your site. Using anchor text words like home is a very unwise move. You want most of the links, whether internal or external, to use one variation or another of the main keyword of that page. Having all your links using the exact same keyword phrase, however, is not a wise move either. You need to be smart and approach this in a manner that appears natural. An IP address is a number that is given to your server to identify it and help with communications. It is similar to a phone number or zip code. It is important to know this because Google wants to ensure that links coming to a site are from other people's websites and not your own. And not just one other person's websites if there's many links, but spread out. So Google will look at the IP address and check to see the links coming to your site page, which they have already ranked, and rank you accordingly, meaning where the links are coming from, the ranking of those pages directly affects how you will be ranked. But my site is also coming up first for many other keywords, and here's a few of them that I listed on my primer page. It's coming up first for Florida kosher tours, for Miami kosher tours, for Orlando kosher tours, for Orlando kosher travel packages, for Orthodox Jews flocking to Disney World or Orthodox Jews flocking to Universal Studios. For Map of Jewish Tours Orlando, it's coming up number 1. And it's coming up 2 and 3 and 4 and number 5 for dozens upon dozens of keywords. My site is an official authoritative site. Google ranks other sites in my theme according to how well they match content on my site. That's pretty powerful.